Welcome back to the Real News Network. I'm Paul Jay in Washington, and from our Toronto studio is Joya, a member of the National Assembly of the Parliament, you could say, in Afghanistan, who's been suspended for denouncing the warlords. She's also been one of the most outspoken people for quite some time denouncing the Taliban. And as you learned in the first segment of our interview, she would like foreign forces out of Afghanistan now. Thanks for joining us again, Malalai.
Thank you.
Malalai, why do you think the United States continues to have troops in Afghanistan, is poised to increase the footprint of the occupation?
It has three reasons. First, they occupied my country because of geopolitical location of Afghanistan. My country located in the heart of the Asia. When they will have their grip in Afghanistan, very easily they can control China, Russia, Iran, Pakistan, India, etc. And then they will have very easily access to the gas and oil of the Central Asian republics. And the third reason, because after arms and oil trade in the world, they are receiving millions of dollars by dirty business of opium. This was the main project of the CIA, that they changed Afghanistan to the center of drug by support of these drug lords. So for example, since 2001 until now, 4,500% opium increase. And every year through dirty business of opium, $500 million alone goes into the pocket of Taliban. Even New York Times gave report recently, brother of Hamid Karzai, Ahmad Wali Karzai, that my people call him a small bush in Kandahar, that he is a famous drug trafficker and the payroll of the CIA, receiving millions of dollars by CIA. Why Canada government, first of all, who have troops and follow the strong policy of the US government, do not raise the voice against that? In many examples like this, today by presence of thousands troops in Kabul, we do not have security. UN office recently has been attacked in the safest place of Kabul. By presence of thousands troops, millions of Afghans, they suffer from insecurity, injustice, corruption, joblessness, poverty. And this 8 years is enough to know better US government and NATO about their wrong policy. Now they put soft name on Taliban, these terrorist people, as a moderate, and a fascist man like Gulbuddin Hekmatyar, to have a reason through mainstream media to you that to bring these warlords, this Taliban also means Mullah Omar and also Gulbuddin Hekmatyar, who his name is in the blacklist of the UN, in the power. No, now situation will be more disaster, more bloody, especially for the women, if these two terrorists also come in power.
Now, we read in the press that India is very concerned that if the United States pulls out of Afghanistan, that Pakistan, that traditionally has actually backed the Taliban in Afghanistan. In fact, when I was in Afghanistan, many people I spoke to, even in Kandahar, saw the Taliban at that time as more an extension of the Pakistani ISI. India is very concerned that if the foreign troops pull out of Afghanistan, Pakistan will support the Taliban and bring the Taliban back to power as an extension of the influence of Pakistan. Is that a legitimate concern, and what do you make of that?
These warlords, as I told you, that since Cold War they got support of the CIA, ISI, Saudi Arabistan, Russia, etc. Not Russia on that time, that of course altogether fight it against Russia, only puppet of Russia, Khalkin, Parchami, they had their support. But Taliban, when these warlords come in power, when Russia failed in Afghanistan, as I told you, they were product of the mainly CIA and ISI. They did civil war in Afghanistan. During that time, Taliban has been created, CIA supported them, did brainwash in religious school of ISI by support of Saudi Arabistan. And when Taliban come in power, again my people become hopeful that maybe Taliban is better than these criminal mujahideen. These a bunch of killers. While most of people are real mujahideen, they call them mujahideen because they were freedom-loving fighter against occupation of Russia. But the criminal mujahideen, only these bunch of warlords who I told you right now, also they are in power, they have high posts. When Taliban come in power, people thought maybe they are better than criminal mujahideen. But after 9/11, 5 years they imposed on my people. They had their foreign support and their foreign master supported them. But when they did 9/11 tragedy, again their domination has been destroyed. And then Instead, to be honest for my people, US government and NATO, they brought back in power these warlords who become mice when Taliban come in power, skipping their horse. Back these mice become wolf. And still they are wolf in the skin of lambs, deceiving people around the world. That's why situation getting disaster. And these Taliban and warlord, they are just a bunch of killer. They are a bunch of names full of the shame in the history of my country. My people hate them.
Malala, what exactly would you like to see next? Because in one of the interviews I read, you said you wanted to see the disarming of the warlords. But who's going to disarm the warlords?
You know, first, it was alternative that I requested that really if Mr. Obama honest for my people, no question that after 9/11 we need a helping hand, but it never means we want occupation. They occupy. But what I asked from Mr. Obama first, in the occupation, he must apologize to my people for the war crime of criminal Bush. But unfortunately, his foreign policy is quite similar like criminal Bush. And second, he must stop arming the warlords, not negotiate with Taliban.
I want to get concrete about this. In your view of things, before the foreign forces were to leave, do you want them to disarm the warlords or you want the foreign forces to get out?
Of course, we want them to get out as they are not honest, but stop arming means, for example, Barack Obama, this is fresh example. U.S. government raised the voice, even mainstream media, maybe you got that, they exposed Abdul Rashid Dostum, this wanted criminal. But when during election he is coming, why they even do not say single word against him? Why they do not raise their voice?
But Dostum was one of their most important allies after 9/11. I mean, American forces, we know, allied with all of these people that had previously been accused of committing war crimes. Dostum was one of them. But what I'm asking you is, if you want the U.S. and foreign troops out, do you want them to disarm these warlord armies?
No, not disarm. One is disarm, one is stop arming. Disarm, they were not honest. They did not disarm. They armed these warlords these 8 years. Photocopy of Taliban. That's why they are powerful. When I'm saying stop arming means stop support them, not negotiate with Taliban. Four alternatives I have. First, if really Mr. Obama honest for my people, end occupation. Second, stop arming, it means stop support the warlords, not negotiate with Taliban under the name of moderate. We have no moderate Taliban. How they recognize this terrorist is moderate, that one is not. In the meantime, they never say apologize to my people, at least. Third alternative, support democratic-minded, justice-loving people of my country while we have a lot. Give them chance. Instead that supporting more these warlords. The fourth alternative, together with UN, they must stop neighbor countries like Iran, Pakistan, Russia, Uzbekistan, etc. who support Taliban also warlords. But they are not honest for us. Only this point is enough that middle-minded, ignorant Taliban almost destroyed opium. On that time in 2001, it was 185 metric ton. But now, a superpower country with 14 more countries, this 8 years not possible to destroy opium. Just they play with the destiny of my people. They changed my country to their playground once again. My people put the name of this so-called war on terror. This is just a game of Tom and Jerry.
Malala, what would support for what you're calling justice-loving or democratic forces in Afghanistan, what would that support look like? What concretely do you want to happen?
Of course, we need for them support because still they are underground support, educationally support through them to my people. Innocent, most of non-educated people of my country that many times they showed their love to democracy. They coming outside, they do demonstration that most of them are not educated. And if they have education, they play their role much better than today. These women, every man, tens of women commit suicide. When these girls get raped, they kill themselves. If they will be educated, then they never do that. But the problem is that your government has some humanitarian project there, but under the name of humanitarian project, they occupied Afghanistan because $36 billion they raised to the government of Hamid Karzai.
If the foreign forces pull out tomorrow, there will be a fight between the Taliban and the warlords and amongst the warlords. Within that kind of situation, what foreign support, what can the outside countries do in that situation?
I told you that you said foreign troops tomorrow. On behalf of my people, I am telling them now, because our history showed we never accept occupation.
No, I understand that. So let's say if they pulled out in 5 minutes, Malala, you would have a fight between the warlords and the Taliban, no?
Yeah, but let me tell you, my brother, one second. But my people hate the warlord, I told you, in Taliban. But the problem is that US government and NATO do not let us a little bit breathe in peace. People do not support them. Karzai's regime is a good example how much it is weak. And they are day by day getting more powerful. At least we are fighting one enemy instead of two. I said today itself is civil war. As long as these troops be in Afghanistan, the worst civil war will be, because in the meantime they're increasing the resistance of the people. I told you in this 8 years, less than 2,000 Talib has been killed, more than 8,000 innocent people. People are able to fight these terrorists, but if the US government and NATO let us a little bit breathe in peace. But when I want the withdrawal of the troops on behalf of my people, but my request to the people of this country, as people of the US, to the people of Canada, around the world, because huge difference between the people and wrong policymakers. They are the one who must join their hands with us, especially human rights organizations, moral support and also financial support, especially educational support of them we need. For our people, not for this corrupt system. Also, huge difference between the wrong policymakers and good policymakers who are in power. My message to the Democrat member of the parliaments, congressmen and women, and also to Democrat politicians, men and women, is that the silence of the good people is worse than the action of bad people. They are the one who must put pressure on their government that stop this wrongdoing. That much my people fed up now. They say we don't expect anything good from you, just stop wrongdoing.
Thanks very much for joining us, Malala.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for your support.
And thank you for joining us on the Real News Network.